here in India to play for us. And Tilo joins me. How are you, Tilo? Where are you? Are you in Germany? Are you other parts of the world?
Yes, I'm in Germany, and when I look out of my window, it's getting colder and colder. The winter time is coming right now, and
Festival and you and your quartet and vocalist Johanna Isa were just magical. I'd like you to talk about what you felt about the Mumbai audience and how special that night was, Tilo.
this was an absolutely wonderful night because the audience was so nice and beautiful. And if you come to a new country, you don't know. You think about how will the audience react, and how will they like our music. We found out that they absolutely liked our music, and we had a wonderful time. We had really fun on stage, and the reaction of the audience gives us so much that we can give back to the audience. It's an absolute interaction, and so we had a lot of fun, and we played the Coke Masala Blues. This was a very special thing, and yes, we had a lot of fun.
Did you like the sound of the Tata Theatre, the acoustics? Did you find it beautiful? Yeah?
Absolutely, yes. It was no problem for us. They had good engineers here, and yeah, we felt wonderful.
I want to now talk about some of the songs for people who weren't there last year. You played Tessa's Waltz. I believe it's a song you wrote for your daughter.
That's a song I wrote for my daughter, but 15 years before she was born. So the story is, I wrote this song, and I wanted to find a title for it, and I noticed that's a name, Tessa, and I called it Tessa's Waltz. But the people asked me, who is Tessa? And I always answered, sorry, I don't know any Tessa, but I think this name is wonderful. So 15 years later, my daughter said, hello, I'm here. And this was a perfect opportunity to give her the name Tessa. Normally, first you have the child, then you have the song, but why? You can change it too.
You can change it, of course.
she loves the song, absolutely, and it's perfect for her.
And you played Coke Masala Blues. Did you have the Coke and the Masala together, Thilo? You or the band members?
The night before our concert, we were at a bar, and I saw on the menu the Coke Masala, and I'm a big fan of Coca-Cola and a big fan of Masala when I go to Indian restaurants, and I thought I will try it. Okay, I think I still would prefer.
Are those all artists you grew up on, Thilo, or people you discovered over the sand?
I loved the sound of 5 saxophones, the trumpet section and the trombone section. And when I was a child, I wanted to have a big band. And when I was 24 years old, this dream comes to fulfillment.
That's really lovely. Okay, we spoke about Coke Masala Blues, Tessa's Waltz, George Gershwin, Benny Goodman and Duke Ellington. Now the big question is, you're returning to open the festival this year, Thilo. Mm-hmm. And Johanna's back with you. But this time, I believe it's going to be very different. It's going to be going back to your roots. Like you said, you like big band.
Yes, big band is... Count Basie said his favorite instrument is big band. And I can agree to that. Because it's a wonderful... I don't know the word for Klangkörper. It's a wonderful sound combination of all the brass instruments and the rhythm section. And it's very sensitive, it's powerful, it's slow, it's loud. You can do anything with a big band. And I love to come with my very special formation to your festival, and we have some really good soloists with us. So we have Johanna, she's really brilliant. We'll do a very tricky song. I wrote an arrangement I wrote for her of It Don't Mean a Thing If It Ain't Got That Swing. And this arrangement shows all the skills of Johanna in improvisation, in scat singing, in everything she can do. It's brilliant.
So give us the lowdown on the number of saxophones, trombones, trumpets, and I'm sure piano, bass, drums are always there. Cuban pianist Alfredo Rodriguez and his trio, and then American vocalist Jane Monet. And well, Rodriguez says that he's going to blend some jazz piano, bits of his Cuban heritage, some beautiful Brazilian music is what Jane Monet says that she's going to do. You must be excited.
Absolutely. So I have to leave the festival after our concert, because on the next day I have to perform in Berlin. So I regret this really, because I would love to get in contact with Jane Monheit, because I wrote some arrangements for her, but I never met her personally.
It was done on the internet. Well, like Thilo said, one thing that's not going to change is the fun of playing at the NCPA International Jazz Festival, 24th, 25th, 26th at the Lata Theatre. The stage is set for some sublime jazz. Please go get your tickets on Book My Show. All information is at ncpamumbai.com. Tilo, I really appreciate your time, and I can't wait to see you come and open the festival this year. Thank you very much.
2 weeks. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Welcome to This Week at the NCPA. We tell you what's happening on stage and off it at the National Centre of the Performing Arts. This week, Dr. Suvarnalata Rao. She's Programming Head, Indian Music and Research Scientist at the NCPA. Dr. Rao, what a pleasure. How are you today?
Yes, great. Thank you. So here we are talking about the Composers Festival, and that is the reason I thought that we have to relive those compositions again and again. And Hrishi, when I am saying that the compositions are the same, you know as well as anybody that when we prepare something so simple as dal, even if I prepare it every day, it is going to be little. And when another person prepares it, even with my recipe, it will be little different. There is a personal touch. So that's what makes it very beautiful and very vibrant and very, living thing. So a composition may be 500 years old or say maybe 50 years old. But what makes it happen on the stage is that it comes alive with the whole effort of that artist. And this is the, the whole mainstay of our Composers Festival, where we try to present 3 days, one in pure classical, that is rag-based music, one in kind of semi-classical, that is Thumri, Dadra, Jamra, etc. And another is, coming to contemporary times and something like films or ghazals, etc. So that is where we try to do, to showcase these so-called compositions in all its facets, all the, perspective is what we did. Now for me, there have been some of the really, starting with 2010, really very memorable moments. For example, we had Vasundhara Kaikonkar, who is the wife of late Kumar Gandharvaji. She is also no more with us. So now here was Kumarji, who was regarded as really a rebel, who was trained in Gwalior tradition, because of his own temperament, his own voice, etc., etc. He set up his own gharana or his own ideology, and he had his own set of compositions. So here was his wife, who was his disciple, of course, presenting that. Or we had Girija Devi ji, from Banaras, the great diva who lived up to past 80. She died in 2015 or something. She came and she sang the compositions of Banaras Gharana composers, who were at that time, say maybe gone, say today 100 years ago. Right? Similarly, we had somebody like Birju Maharaji, who is no more. Now Birju Maharaji is really a Kathak dancer, but make no mistake, he was a great orator and a great singer of composers. So he would do Baitak Ki Bhav. That means you sit down and you sing a composition, and you don't get up and dance, but you show the bhav on your face. The most memorable, perhaps, just with your face, with your eyes, and with your, of course, hand gestures, but not getting up and start actually dancing with your feet. So वो जो बैठक की ठुमरी थी वो उन्होंने इतना ब्यूटीफुल दिखाया है. And before I forget, all of this has been recorded at the NCPA, and therefore any one of you want to ever come and watch that, that you are welcome to do so. And we had somebody great like Gulzar Sir. In say 2018 or so, he talked about this compositions of Tagore, Rabindranath Tagore, as you know, he was so prolific, and followed by him, because an evening has to be made very comprehensive. So he recited the compositions composed by Tagore, and Ajay Chakrabarti ji sang those compositions. So we try to do this kind of thing, and of course in the film music, again we have a great Bollywood. We have lot of people we have presented, right from Javed Ali to Shankar Mahadevan did a very exciting thing. As you know, Shankar Bhai is trained in classical music. So I requested him to do something like Baitak to Bollywood. Baitak matlab niche baitho, and he sang pure Carnatic classical music compositions. Okay, and after the interval, he was just different avatar. Bollywood, stand up, and the whole lot of things. So Baitak to Bollywood showed a plethora of Indian diverse compositions in diverse traditions.
So this 13th edition of the festival had Pankaj Udasi performing Ghalib Se Gulzar Tak, Kavita Krishnamurthy's tribute to Lata Mangeshkar, plus Pandit Ajay Pohankar. Give us a recap of those magical evenings. Like you said, you split them into classical, into semi-classical or ghazal form, and of course into film playback.
So on the first day we had a classical by Ajay Pohankar ji. Now Ajay Pohankar ji comes with a rich tradition. His own mother, Sushila Pohankar, Dr. Sushila Pohankar, was an extremely well-trained exponent, and she was a good composer also. So we requested him to present her compositions. Also, what happens, as I told you, that many times these artists want to go out of the bound of their family. So he requested me, very interestingly, that he would, other than his mother, was based in Kirana, largely Kirana, but Aman Ali Khasab of Bindi Bazar Gharana. Now, Hrishi, I cannot resist the temptation of telling you what is Bindi Bazar. Bindi Bazar is the area of Mumbai. Okay, and this is the only Gharana, Bindi Bazar Gharana, which seemed to have born in Mumbai. And there were 3 brothers, and I have had the good fortune of studying their work because I was writing for some book. So this is the only Gharana perhaps born in Mumbai, otherwise rest are all outside Mumbai. So he chose one of the stalwarts called Aman Ali Khasa of Bindi Bazar. He had a very typical approach, and Ajay ji said, can I? So, very welcome. So he presented his mother's compositions as well as Aman Ali Khasa's composition. The second artist was Dr. Ashwini B.D. who chose to do the presentation of the pioneer of our Gharana, Ustad Aladia Khasa, who pioneered the Gharana, who trained Mogubai Kodikar, who trained in turn Kishoridaya Amankar, trained Maniktai Bide, who is Ashwini's mother and mentor, and then Ashwini. So you see, this Guru Shishya Parampara, we should talk about this some other time, the oral tradition. This is like Sina Basina जिसको बोलते हैं कि एक के आगे एक बैठता है. Then the places, when the senior person is no more, the junior becomes the guru, and there is some. So you see how many generations, and what is the beauty that we lay emphasis and claim that nothing has changed. Of course it has changed, but it has not changed also. So you see, vital things remain the same. Just like our genes, Hrishi, who we come from. If we claim that I am from so and so, my forefather was so and so, definitely that genetic expression is there. But what does it mean? Do you look replica of him or her? No. There is an expression that goes on with the generation. So similarly, the beauty of contribution of all these individual artists is there, but they are adhering to some core, and that core shines through, and as well as that peripheral beauty of what they add also shines through. So everything has a meaning, not only saying our ancestors were great, but here we are emulating our ancestors, wanting to take their heritage forth. So coming to Pankaj also, when I spoke to him and said that, I would like you to choose a couple of composers because this is a composers festival. Otherwise what happens in a ghazal concert, they may sing whatever they want, and they may not sometimes say kiski ghazal hai. Yeah, and in ghazal, what do you know? The lyrics are most important because it is the lyrical form. Right? Ghazal एक गाते हैं, yes, but ghazal पढ़ के भी सुना सकते हैं. That's not necessary. उसका कोई ट्यून होना जरूरी नहीं है because the meaning, the lyrical meaning is so important. And the whole structure, जिसको बोलते हैं एक मतलब होता है कि how the whole structure goes on. So then he came back, he took some time and he said, can I present a plethora and let us call it as a Ghalib to Gulzar, and we will show classic poets like Ghalib and Amir to contemporary poets, say up to Gulzar, and is that beautiful album with Gulzar Sahib. So, it was so beautiful. And people who are into ghazal as the Urdu lyrical form, perhaps me, I am not so much, I cannot catch immediately unless I hold it in my hand and read say 20 times, the ghazal, because my Urdu is not so great. But people who are conscious and who can listen, they immediately can decipher what is the vocabulary, what is the composition per se in that classic times, coming down to today's artists. So that was thing. And last course we had
Kavita
Krishnamurthy, because there also, I did not, this time slightly there was a change because we didn't adhere to a set of composers. Because we thought that this has to be a tribute to Lata ji, we have lost her recently, and who better than Kavita ji, because she, what can I say, she has trained. I understand that, before actually Lata ji would come and record the songs. First it was, somebody has to practice with it, somebody has to make the whole, musicians and everybody get ready to that, so that the, melody queen Lata Bai could come in the end and do her bit. So this is how she was trained, by various music directors made use of her, and she said that that's how he had helped her. And she presented also a whole plethora, including Marathi song of hers, and so that's why I think this is just in our memory, and thanks to HSBC who has been promoting this from 2015.
This August, you brought the NCPA City Promising Artist Series to life again. Talk about the Promising Artist Series. How much artists as well as NCPA gained from them, Dr. Rao?
You see, I have to say this, that what is the thought that went behind in my head when I started, I think this was started upcoming artists as soon as I took over. Okay, so it is running for more than 30-35 years. You see, we just now talked about the Guru and the Shishya. Okay, we must also understand that music, again going back to the art of cooking, music is an art just like cooking, which has to be perfected with actual practice. That means it's not enough for you to have a book with a recipe there and knowing in your head how to do it. Every time you have to do it and see, it is a practice-based art. Okay, so when you are trained with certain number of years, now you may, yes, at home you are all the time rehearsing, practicing, but when you come on the stage, what amount of preparation is required. You also know, I mean, personally, I can tell you what happens to you when you sit on the stage for the first time. How looking at the people, you forget everything. You go sometimes completely blank. What to say. You don't know. So to overcome all these things, you need a concert experience. No amount of sitting at home and practicing. Yes, of course, that is your preparation. But over there on the concert platform, you are in front of your audience who are connoisseurs. So that is why these upcoming artists, what we call an umang, and you know the word umang, you are full of aspirations to build your career as a musician in your life, but now you want to start somewhere. So we allow this platform to the budding artists. And what we do is that we always have two artists because an evening, you cannot sustain when you are upcoming, you cannot sustain and it is good to have a small bite to present. So what we do is that have a vocalist followed by an instrument or the vice versa. So we have this series and I think we must have presented till now a whole lot of artists who are taking the now again example of say this Deepika. She was once a upcoming artist when we presented her in 2012-13. Now see in 10 years time she is having her own concert, right? So this is a journey that they like to see, and again thanks to City that they allow us to promote these young artists because not everybody wants to do this. You see, because these are not artists who are very known. Sometimes these artists may not make it. See, out of 100, maybe 5 make it, How 100 that we present, maybe 5 make it. Make it in the sense that they go to the top level. Yes, they will definitely, by nature, they are musicians, so they will be in the tradition, they will teach in their own turn. So they are done different roles, but they may not make as a top ranking artist who the audiences sees, in a bigger form.
My final question is about the City NCPA scholarships for young Indian musicians in Hindustani music. This January you announced another fresh batch. So advanced training in Hindustani music, which is vocal, khayal, drupad, percussion instruments, tabla, the pakhavaj. Wonderful to know that you're supporting musicians as young as age 18 and as old as age 35. Talk to us about that scholarship.
Yeah, so Hrishi, again going back, when I said that upcoming artist has to now, it is young people and more today, they have so many options, and I can tell you from my own experience that. So this monetary support is very, very crucial. And this is where I think City held our hand right from the word go. Until today, we are happy from 2015 till 2021 or 23. Now we have given 82 scholarships. So 82 young people have benefited. And not only they have benefited financially, sooner or later we presented them at NCPA in the upcoming artist series. And every time we present, we compensate them, we see to it, and some years, if the struggle that we could not have large scale productions at NCPA, we still went on with our upcoming artist series. This is what I want to underline. Because we realized that as NCPA, that these younger people are our capital in which we must invest. Because if we let them go, they are going to be discouraged and maybe, that will be costly for us. In future, we will not have art. So that is where we never left the sight of that. And I am proud to say that throughout the years, we kept this good. And City holding our hand to, do this scholarship round was a scholarship bid is really very, very a great support.
That's Dr.
If
Suvarnalata
we see
Rao.
also that today we receive over 700 applications, for the first round. And what is that, this application? And then we have to really sift down, and we get only a few to do the actual round when they present themselves.
That's Dr. Suvarnalata Rao. She's programming head, Indian music and research scientist at the NCPA. Thank you for your time, and
Thank
hope
you
to see
very
you
much.
soon.
Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you, Radio One, and thank you, Mr. Hrishi.
94.3 Radio 1.